Hi, thanks for coming to Leah's conference today. I'm really excited to meet with you and discuss just how great she's been doing. Leah is one of my students that I know I can always depend on to be a good example. And if I need something done, I can ask her and she'll do it. And she's always willing to help other students, which is also great. And I've just been really impressed with the work that she's done. Um, and I love that I know that when I ask the students to focus and pay attention, she's one of the first to show me that she is ready to learn. Um, and she's been doing so great in the area of literacy, and I can see so much progress with her. Um, One area of strength that I've seen is in her writing. I recently looked at a writing sample that she did at the beginning of the year and then compared to the ones that she's been doing now, and I've seen so much progress. Um, One writing assessment that we did was where the students needed to write about their favorite thing to do, and they couldn't receive any help. They couldn't ask for how to spell things, they couldn't look it up in a book, um, couldn't get ideas from anyone else. It just had to be their own work. So this is um, Leah's, and she did a really great job. She wrote about how her favorite thing was to go to school, actually. Um, and you can tell in her writing how, even with the words that she misspelled, there was that thought process of it's misspelled, but you can tell what she was trying to say. So she was really thinking about how you would say it to figure out how to spell it. But she wrote quite a few words correctly, and it's a really great short little story. We did a little scale with that assessment to see where the students were at, and there were 3 different levels or sections where each student could get up to 6 points, so a total of 18 points, and Leah got 15 points out of 18, which is excellent and shows that she's right where she should be as a first grader with her writing. Some of the points that she got was that she reached the point of writing punctuated stories with more than one sentence. I usually never have to remind Leah to write more than one sentence when we write stories. She's been great about making them into a story instead of just a one sentence thing. And she is doing a great job of starting to do that repetitive pattern of how to start sentences with like kind of the same words, but then also moving on and recording her own ideas. And then the last area where she got a 5.5 out of 6 was how she sets up her paper. She has the right amount of spacing in between words, and she's writing correctly and with going left to right and starting in the right place. So she's definitely emerging as a writer. Something I think would be great to do at home to help her with that is to help her just feel like an author. Give her opportunities to share what she writes with you. You can have her sit in a chair as if she's an author reading to others her own work, and I think that will really just help her continue with her confidence in her writing ability and just get more used to writing about whatever she wants. Another area where she is very confident or doing as a strength is her confidence. She is very confident in her ability as a reader, and she loves to read and she loves to try, even if she makes mistakes. I did a little interview with her to find out how she feels about reading, and asked her on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being feeling like a terrific reader, and she gave herself a 4. And she talked about how she enjoys to read, and the biggest reading strategy that she uses when she gets to where she doesn't know is to sound them out, which is a great skill. And I notice, and as I listen to her read, that is the main thing that she uses, and it helps her out with a lot of words. So she's been doing great with that. And another strength is with her reading. She just moved up to a level F, which is a great level to be at as a first grader. It's in one of our higher groups, and especially at this point in the year, she's definitely progressing to where she should be. And with the running records that I've done on her, which tests to see if the books she's reading are the appropriate level, she's gotten about a 90 to 95% accuracy rate, which puts those books at the instructional level, which means that she's right where she should be, and that is going to help her a lot as a reader. Something that I think would be great to help continue that at home would be to do some buddy reading with her at home, with books just above her level, where she can get help from you as she tries to sound out words, but then she can also listen to you as the parent read the correct way and with the correct fluency. And I think that will just help her strengths to become even stronger. Some of the things that I've noticed that we can help her improve on are pretty normal for a first grader. I'm really not too concerned with her at all. One thing that I think she could use just a little extra help on is with her sight words, and we already sent home a packet with the sight words to help the students remember them. I did a quick test as I noticed that was her biggest struggle with some books, because if she doesn't know a sight word, she can't use her reading strategy of sounding them out, because you can't sound out sight words. And so that would kind of throw her off in her reading. And I noticed I did a test where she read 36 sight words, and she got 32 out of 36, which is still great. And the words that she missed were her, not, out, and what. And just getting extra help with those words and becoming more familiar with them, so that she can just have them ingrained in her brain, will help her to become an even better reader. That's something at home, to add on to the sight word packet. If you can find times where you can point out those words around the house or around town, or make it into a game with her where she has to find the words around her or in books. And because they're sight words and high frequency words, that means that they are going to be easy to find. And I think once she gets those few words down, that will especially help her with her fluency. And there were a couple other words that she corrected herself on but missed them at first. And so just getting that extra help at home would be an easy way for her to just progress even more there. And the only other thing that I think could be a great benefit to help her reading improve even more is just a little extra help with her comprehension. Something that I have noticed as I read with her is that she understands what she reads, but she has a little difficulty in retelling it to someone else. If I ask a question, I sometimes need to do just a few extra prompts, or instead of answering the specific question of what happens in the beginning of the story, she usually will kind of just tell me the whole story and use the pictures from the book as an aid for that. And so she remembers what happens, but she just still needs a little some aids to help her. And I think it would be great to just give her a little extra practice and a few extra comprehension strategies to help her be able to do that on her own a little bit more. And that's something that we are going to be working on in school, is developing more comprehension strategies. So you don't need to be too worried about that. And then something that you can do at home is when you read books to her, you can show her your own examples of comprehension. After reading the book, you can kind of do a think aloud of how you remember what happened in the book, or answering your own questions, or ask her questions, and just help her to get used to having to remember what you read. I think sometimes she gets so focused on the words, especially since we're having her read books that are on that instructional level, where it's where she's so focused on learning or focusing on these words that may be a bit more difficult or working on sounding them out, that comprehension isn't really her biggest focus. So I think having her do that at home is going to be such a great help. So I think really overall that is the biggest thing that she needs from you as a parent to help her. She's already doing so great as a reader that just taking the extra time to read with her and talk about the book afterwards and practice those sight words is going to help her in so many areas. She's doing great, and I will continue to do what I can to help her improve and work on those areas that could use a little extra help. And I know that she's really going to progress as a reader. So if you have any more questions for me, just let me know, and I will do what I can to help and give your child the best education that I can.